of you have cell phones? Everyone. All right. So how many of you have an iPhone? Okay. So if you don't have an iPhone, why not? Well, before you answer, I'd like to show you why having an iPhone is the best thing for you as a business person. So J.D. Power and Associates ranked the iPhone as the #1 business smartphone, as well as the #1 smartphone. So they rank it the best. Do you believe that? I do, but I'm also an iPhone user. I've had the iPhone since 2007 when it came out, and I now have the iPhone 4. So I've had it for a long time. I know its features, but I also think it's really easy to learn, and I think it's a great tool to use for businesses as well as personal use. But if you want the best, it's going to cost you a little time, it's going to cost you a little money, and it's going to, really force you to change your ways. But I'd really like to show you how it's the best to make yourself a better business person. So first of all, I know there's a lot of hesitation when going to switch your phone. So if you don't have an iPhone, a lot of people say, well, they cost too much. So one of the reasons I would say that you would want to switch your phone is that you need to have things that work faster, work better. So why do you need an iPhone when a BlackBerry or other smartphone would do the same thing? But I also like to show you that they don't do the same things, and also the iPhone can work some things better. So what features would be worth paying for that much over my own phone right now? So the other frustrations are that you would have to switch your phone provider. And I know that that's a big frustration because sometimes coverage only works in certain areas. However, iPhone has now moved to Verizon, and they're two of the biggest networks. And I really think that if you're going to get ahead in business, sometimes upgrading your phone to a better provider may also help you. So another problem could be it's a pain to break your contract and it costs money. But sometimes you have to spend money to make money. And if you already have a cheap plan, the AT&T and Verizon plans for the same things are really not that much more, and I think that it's well suited to a business environment. They have business plans. You could go in on a business plan with your own company, and a lot of times that'll even save you money because they'll provide you with the service. So another problem is I don't know how to use it. And I really think that Apple has done a great job in providing different ways that you can find out about the phone. You can go online. They give you a little overview manual that's called Fingertips, and it's really a little page about this long that has slight information about how to use the phone, and I really think that's all you need, because once you get a feel for it, you're good. So my dad is one of the biggest critics, and he thinks that the touchpad is too hard to use. So he has a BlackBerry Torch, which has the slide-out keyboard as well as the touchpad, but he doesn't even use the touchpad. And I said, well, Dad, it's one of the greatest things about the iPhone. He said, well, I don't get it. I don't understand how to use it. My fingers are too big. So I actually ended up talking him into it and letting him try mine out. And I said, the iPhone learns your touch, but I'm going to talk more about that later. So I already know how to use my BlackBerry. Why would I want to switch anyway? Well, because it is better and it's faster, and you may not like change, but sometimes change can be for the better, and I really think it's worth it this time. One of the complaints that I noticed that was more for personal use is about BBM, and my dad said that a lot of his other company managers have BlackBerries, and it allows you to talk freely. However, there's an app for that, so I'll show you that as well. So let's go to my wiki. I have a video here that's going to show you the difference between the two of them. How much is this?
You're right there.
HTML5 for embedding media, upload YouTube videos in the browser, and a lot of other content. The Torch doesn't have support for Flash or HTML5. So YouTube videos, you're going to be relying on the YouTube player, and you're not going to get a lot of sort of dynamic content. ESPN, for example, you can be able to play videos on the iPhone. You can't on the BlackBerry Torch, sort of representing an example of a lot of other sites. So the lack of HTML5, sort of the hindrance of the processor, are going to give the browsing edge to the iPhone.
So right there, you see that the iPhone has something called HTML5 built into its web browsing, and it also has a faster processor. The other phone that you saw in the video was the Torch, which is what my dad has, so it was a great, visualization for him and his, other BlackBerry users, which, are trying to make the switch. This one has the touchpad as well. So it has a faster processor, which is a good thing, because if you need to go out and find directions, your GPS is going to, find your way on Google Maps faster than your partner who has a BlackBerry. And if you need to get somewhere faster, do something faster for your boss, you're going to be better than that other person who's trying to get a step up in a job in the same place you work. So another thing that, you would use your phone for is the apps. There's a large app store, and it's a lot better than the BlackBerry App Store because, it's accessible right on your cell phone, and you can really download apps anywhere, and a lot of them are free. But one of the best things is that most of the business ones are already on your phone. So you have the Google Maps, you have the stocks, you have your email, you have your web browsing, and that's all free. And there's also a lot of other free apps that you would be able to use that would really, take into consideration what you might need for a business. So, most importantly, if you're away from your desk, you have a mobile computer in your hand. And you're going to want to use this for finding your way, finding coffee for your boss, finding the nearest gas station. I mean, really all these things are related to getting yourself, ahead in the business world. So, one more time. So here on Apple.com, they have the whole business layout for the phone, and they really show you, everything that they have that's geared toward businesses. There's active sync so that you can put all your calendars right on the phone and all your contacts. There's even a business device where you can house all the contacts for everything, and your clients would, sync in, and then you could provide different contacts for them that, they might not have or, need on the fly. So I'd like to tell you why it's worth it to buy an iPhone. It's sleeker and lighter weight than other smartphones, and it's also got great security. Apple prides itself on having its own, OS and making sure that they know that, you're going to trust their product. You're going to come back, you're going to buy more. There's only been 4 upgrades in the iPhone, whereas BlackBerry, there's many different versions and styles, some of which have broken. I mean, my dad always said that he had to replace his BlackBerry many times for the rollerball. Now with the touchpad, they've relieved some of that, but it's still slower, so, he said he would consider it. Apple also has this huge app store, and it's bigger than the other ones, and a lot of their features are designed to secure your data, and they have passwords for opening it and opening other applications. So it's also worth it because, if you're going on a job interview and the boss sets out a bunch of tasks that you need to complete, your phone can really help you do that. But if you're fumbling around with too many buttons or a broken rollerball, you might not get that job done. And that's really why they're going to look to you to really get something done faster. So my dad was so concerned with the touchpad, but I showed him that it has keyboard clicks so he knows when he's touching the buttons. And also, it learns where you put your fingers for when you type. So if you're typing out an email or something, you can hear the clicks, and also it's going to learn when you have, where you put your thumbs for the different letters, and it's going to sync itself to your personal style. So the benefits in general are that the business world works at a faster pace. If you need to keep up, you want to have hardware behind you that'll keep up as well. Having a mini computer in your hands is really going to help you out, and I really think that it's a better choice than the BlackBerry. If you're able to email, conference call, use your GPS, and surf the web at the same time, you know, why wouldn't you pick that? It's really going to ease your life and help you move faster. So in conclusion, you know, the phone learns you as you learn it. The iPhone's a great choice because it's really a small learning curve, and even for the cost, it's a great product. So moving up in the world is on everyone's list, and I really think the iPhone can get there faster by having the world at your fingertips as a mini computer. You also deserve to upgrade, and the other great features are games and the iPod, and that all comes with it. So in your downtime, when you're not at business, you have a great entertainment phone as well. So let's go buy one. So here at the Apple Store, you can buy it online, and it has the packages for both AT&T and Verizon right on there. And you can also purchase the 3G, or the 3GS, which is cheaper. So thanks. Any questions?